Hey guys, what's going on here? Luke here. We're going to be answering some questions from the Q&A I put up earlier. So if you have any questions and you want to get them answered, we might do this every week. Who knows what happens, but trying to spread out a little more, see what's going on. But first of all, we'll have to go Facebook. Dominic Todd. How much power does the car make? So currently the car makes 645 on 9 psi. It's a built LSA motor, but at wartime attack we turned the power up to, and it was running roughly around 680 horsepower at wartime attack. Another question from Dominic Todd. Notice you posted that you were selling the car on a post. Yes. I knew I was going to get some questions about this. Yes, the car is always for sale. If you are, I'm not going to say a specific price point, but if you are interested in it, make sure to get in contact with us. And if you are serious about it, this is a proven winning car. It is for sale. If you do have any questions or want to know anything about the car, contact me. We'll talk about it, and if you're serious, we'll give you a price point. But yes, it is for sale. Nick Bevan. Are you still doing liveries? And well done on the win, mate. Well deserved. Thank you very much. No, I'm not really doing liveries anymore. I'm doing 3D models for Assetto Corsa. That is now what I do on the side. I replicate people's cars, and I'm currently working on a Drift Master's back. So that is currently what I do. I don't really do liveries anymore. Over to Instagram. Susie Carr. Please tell me you're doing the LZ Festival. Unfortunately, we're not. We did get an invite, but it currently with just doing wartime attack and got the round 4 and 5 in November for the South Australian Drift Series. We don't have the most money and time to be able to do it, unfortunately. I would love to, and Jason Fenton has been amazing and try to get us a seat there, but unfortunately we aren't able to go over there just due to money restrictions and just being so remote from the rest of the world. But we would love to, but yeah, it is what it is. Hayden Houlihan, thoughts on drifting scene in South Australia? I've been drifting there for 3 rounds now. We drifted there back in 2018 for Drift Masters, I think it was. And every time we've been there, it's been amazing. Everyone there has been so supportive and helpful to us. It's a great place to be. It's good to feel welcomed and just support from people that you've really never met. But I've made quite a few friends over there. And yeah, no, it's been honestly amazing. All the drivers there in the pro scene are crazy. They're really good. I wouldn't say the cars are up to the same standard that are out there in Perth, but we have much bigger tracks over here, so it's warranted. But yeah, the car scene over there is, or just the drifting scene over there is amazing, and the people that run it have been amazing to us. Shift and Go. What transmission are you running? We're running a Dogbox, G-Force GSR Dogbox 4-speed with a Winters differential. Austin Dunn. Are you ever planning on shifting engine programs, possibly something with high horsepower? Currently in Australia, you don't need the most horsepower to be competitive, and we proved that at wartime attack. We have 680 horsepower in the car currently, but if we ever build a new car, it would probably go for a new engine program. It's not guaranteed what would go with, but ideally my dream sort of setup would either be a sprint car V8 or either a 6-cylinder base, either like a VR38 or a 2JZ. But it all comes down to what's available and how much everything costs. And that's always the issue. RB. How fast was drifting at wartime attack? To be honest, it wasn't that fast. The run up was very very short, so you had to be on it very hard. But we probably entered around 140 to 150, maxed out fourth gear. But yeah, the carrying you carried a lot of speed throughout the whole entire track. I'd say probably like I don't think you would have dropped below 100 potentially, but I don't have a speedo on my car, so I'm just guesstimating. But that's what I'd roughly say. RW, if you had a bigger budget, i.e., some more slash big name sponsors, would you compete overseas? Yes, we. That is the goal for us. There has been talks from some Australian people that want to go overseas, and we would love to. But yeah, if we had sponsors on board that could help us get overseas or potentially build a new car to go overseas, that would be our goal. That is the end game for us. We want to compete in DMAC or FD or whatever opportunity arises for us. But competing overseas is the goal for us, and I'm willing to make a lot of sacrifices to do that. But yeah, it depends on what happens. We've got a couple of questions here from JDM R32 and Tom Nielsen about the last D1WA season. I can't talk about it too much because of some restrictions that I have, but I can roughly explain it and just talk about it more in detail than I have previously. So, round two, we were leading the. Also, this is after round two, we were leading the championship. We won round one and then got second in round two. We were leading the championship, but there was an incident that happened in the finals against a certain competitor. I won't bring up any names here, I just don't want to bring anyone into this, but that led to some consequences that were put on me by the organization. We came to an agreement over talking over a 2 week span, and we came to a middle ground, and I agreed to do that middle ground so I could still compete. But I fulfilled that. I fulfilled my consequences. I did what I was told. And then the sanctions that were put on me changed. They kept on changing. So eventually, even when it came to even just the day before the event, we were still trying to figure out if I could go, and it wasn't look like it was going to happen. So we unfortunately we weren't able to compete. We got barred from doing that round, so we in turn lost the championship and what we were fighting for and put so much money and time into. But the people that I don't hold any grudges to the people that were in charge or did whatever. I know I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but I think it's just trying to be a little more open. So the people that were running or that I was in contact at the time, I would like to talk about it again and potentially be on better terms for the future. But to the competitor, I hold no issues against him. I still respect him in a very high regard. But yeah, the organisation I've lost quite a bit of respect for. And I'd still love to compete and in turn support my local state series and my competitors, but I think for me to do that, the organisation has to reach out to us and potentially we'll talk about it and see what can happen going forward. But I think is a shitty scenario. That's also why we moved on to South Australia to go compete in a different series where I guess we would necessarily wanted and it was fair. So we came over here to compete just to get away from all that. But yeah, that's pretty much. I'm not going to go into much details, but yeah, that's pretty much the extent of the scenario But yeah, I probably won't answer much more questions on about it. But to the organization, contact me. We'll see if we can move forward from this, and I'll come support, do events. But I think for now we're going to be just focusing on ourselves and our adventures outside of Perth. But yeah, massive thank you to everyone who put their questions in. I'll make sure to tag you all in the post. And if you guys got any further questions and you want me to do this more often, leave a comment or text me, DM me, or whatever, and we'll potentially do this more often. But I appreciate it, guys. Cheers. Thank you very much.